American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to the April 17th Monday morning Eric Deters show. As always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga, and check us out on all of our platforms. Well, the lead story is Trump fundraising and polling. Trump continues to surge in the polls, and in addition to that, his fundraising keeps going up. I think he's up to like $30 million raised since his arrest. So Trump world's happy as can be. Elon Musk says government had full access to all of your tweets, messages, Twitter, and everything. How do you like that? You know, our government has just become like Soviet style, is it not? It's pretty scary stuff. I'm going to plug a movie, The Jesus Revolution. I watched this it was last week sometime. What a great movie. If you don't know what the movie's about, it's not like a big Christian movie, although it is a Christian movie, but it's a good movie within itself. In other words, the story is good. It's a true story about so many of these hippies in California who weren't finding what they wanted in the sex and the drugs and everything else, and they turned to Jesus. And it was a real thing. It was called the Jesus Revolution. Hippies turning to Jesus. And it's a true story. And it's an amazing story. And it's an uplifting story. So I want to put it on there and check it out. All right, Alabama shooting. Man, a whole family, group gathering got shot up. So many people, I think there's 26 injured, many died. Bad, 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 bad. But you know what? It's not the gun's fault. It's the person who shot him's fault. Anheuser-Busch, they now have said, you know, it's so funny. Instead of just like reversing course, they say, we didn't mean this to be so divisive. Well, that ain't going to change anything. Unbelievable. Mike Pompeo says he's not going to run for president. Good for him. You know what? He could run for president knowing he's not going to win to stir up all that name recognition. But to his credit, he sees the writing on the wall. No chance of winning. Nobody ought to. You know, Nikki Haley, you know, give me a break. You know, and DeSantis shouldn't run. All they're going to do is get eaten up by Trump. NRA, it was pretty big thing, and Trump came and spoke. All the heavyweights came and spoke. And Donald Trump defended your gun rights, as he always does. It's always weird to me that there'll be a police shooting a shooting near the NRA convention. It's almost like bizarre. But we have to protect our gun rights because we know what really is the problem, and it's not the gun problem. Jim Jordan has endorsed Donald Trump. He did so at the NRA event. I've been to Mar-a-Lago several times for some events, and Jim Jordan is always there. So I know he was in the Trump world. No shocker to me. AI is pretty scary. Elon Musk has come out and said AI could maybe destroy civilization. I agree. There was a story about AI on 60 Minutes, which I caught a little bit of it. Scary stuff. It's scary stuff. But of course, all those people that want to control us full speed ahead. Chicago terror. Like a mob of young black men just terrorism. Not enough police to arrest them all. Only arrested a few. In Chicago. I'm telling you right now, if you wanted to wreak havoc on a city with a mob, now's the time to do it. And get away with it. Get away with it. It's messed up. It's also scary. Pete Buttigieg, you can't make it up, says street design is the reason why there is racism in fatalities. What? What the heck? He's blaming streets now. Your Department of Transportation guy. Washington State has a gender bill where they're going to let kids get their gender transitioned without parents' consent. Why would anybody want to live in Washington? This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Coming up next, Bulldogtv local news. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation. Welcome to Bulldogtv local news. And as always, we're sponsored by Deters Consulting, Parks Yoga. Check us out on all of our platforms. And I hope you enjoyed the Eric Deters Weekly News that we sent out on Saturday. I'm really proud of it. It's a summary of the news for the entire week in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, state of Ohio, and Kentucky. And we're going to do that every week. That was issue number 1. We will email it out. We'll also post it on social media, and it's free. So the bottom line is I hope you like it, and we're looking forward to tweaking it, make it even better. Our lead story, for the second time in 5 days, Louisville's had people gunned down by an unexpected shooter. Saturday night, an unidentified suspect, who hasn't been caught, fired a gun into a crowd of hundreds at Chickasaw Park. Can you imagine that? Just fired a gun into a crowd. Officers arrived and found multiple people wounded and 2 of them fatally shot. There are currently no suspects in custody for the crime. Can you imagine going to a park? You go to a park, you're going to enjoy yourself, and then you get hit with a bullet and you're dead, or your loved one is. It's nuts. It's nuts. Louisville's not safe. By the way, I'm just saying, this happens in these democratic cities. Awful. This is long crime. Downtown Cincinnati's also experienced a shooting in downtown Park over the weekend, and resulting in 4 injuries. Police responded to Piatt Park on Garfield Place Saturday evening around 6 p.m. During a large gathering, an altercation broke out, and 10 shots were fired into the crowd. Everybody's packing. A jury found Dylan Brewster guilty on Friday, murdering a 25-year-old mother in Morning View, Kentucky. Cameron Richia was engaged to Brewster, was shot to death in her own home on October 20th. After the shooting, Brewster took the woman's car and her son, but police caught up to him in Miami County. Sad. Sharonville police are looking for a man who pistol-whipped a McDonald's store manager Sunday. The suspect attacked the manager on East Kemper Road before the restaurant was scheduled to open. He demanded she open the safe, but when she was unable to do that, he hit her multiple times with a gun and fled. Former City of Covington employee Allison Donaldson pleaded guilty to spending over $180,000 on a company card. Donaldson pleaded guilty to wire and identity theft. She faces up to 22 years in prison and fines of $500,000. In local news, 13-year-old boy Jacob Stevens is dead after overdosing on over-the-counter medication. Stevens was trying to copy a TikTok challenge when he took 12 to 14 Benadryl and lost consciousness and later died. Jacob parents said his friends were taking videos of him as he took the fatal dosage to post the challenge. My God. Messed up world, man. Covington Police Department is searching for 47-year-old Greg Tomasetti, who's been missing since Friday. The man's family is worried he may be in danger to himself. He's likely driving a Toyota Sienna. In Kentucky State news, AAA officials have said motorcycle crashes are up in Kentucky in 2023. The most disturbing number is fatalities have almost doubled, with 15 already this year and only 8 by this time last year. Some Ohio lawmakers are calling to either overhaul the death penalty or abolish it altogether in the state. Officials believe it's 2 or 3 times more costly to keep an inmate on death row instead of life in prison. With 128 inmates on death row, some estimate the extra security adds over $380 million. If we didn't have life sentences and we put people to death who deserved it quickly, there wouldn't be a problem. And in sports, the Reds lost 2 out of 3 to Phillies this weekend, and FC Cincinnati lost their first match of the season to St. Louis. Coming up next, World News with James Spindley, who I traversed all across the state of Kentucky this weekend with.
Hello, I hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Today's latest headlines. Explosion and gunfight has been reported this morning in the Sudan's capital, with heavy fighting in the country. In its 3rd day, almost 100 civilians have died. The US and the United Kingdom has issued fresh calls for the fighting to end. The most powerful rocket ever developed is about to attempt a major launch. The vehicle known as Starship has been built by the American entrepreneur Elon Musk's SpaceX company. It will lift off today from Boca Chica in Texas. 16 people are dead and 9 others injured after a fire at a residential building in Dubai. The blaze happened in the Al Raz area, one of the oldest parts in Dubai. The fire was caused by a lack of compliance with building security and safety requirement codes. Former Indian politician Atiq Ahmed was shot and killed Saturday night as he was talking to reporters. Shots were fired and 3 men who had been posing as journalists were then detained by the police. And in sports, Arsenal remain top of the EPL with a 2-2 draw over West Ham United. Until tomorrow, have a fantastic day. Cheerio.
Ladies and gentlemen, American jury and Bulldog Nation, yours truly, Eric Deters, with my buddy Nick Batista. Nick, how are you?
I'm playing hurt today, Bulldog.
You're playing hurt?
I got a 3-day-old toothache. That really, man.
Oh man, there ain't nothing worse than a toothache. You almost called off?
Yeah, boy. I'm like your boy John Moran. You see him right in the locker room?
Yes, yes.
Hurt his hand.
Well, let's talk about baseball. You go first. What'd the Reds do today?
Oh, they got crushed, but last night they won 13-0. Today they got beat 14-3.
That's called a bad team.
Man.
That's what's going to happen with a bad team all year.
They had a weather delay, so I'm walking around and I flip it back on the station, and they're getting beat 9-0. I'm like, oh, it must be from earlier in the season. No. First inning, 9 runs. I mean, first inning, home run. Like 6 guys in a row get on, 9 runs.
Fourth place and dropping.
Yeah.
They are. Well, Tampa Bay's
not awful.
By the way, Tampa Bay streak ended at 13.
Yeah.
And now they've lost 2 in a row.
But they won today.
Well, okay, they're back on a winning streak. Because I was going to think, oh my God, will they never win again?
Well, I told you that, it'll even itself out.
But that tied a record, 13-0.
Yeah.
But only one team that started out 13-0. There's been 4 teams. Only one's made the playoffs.
Right. I saw that too.
That's crazy.
And they're only 3.5 games up on Toronto, I believe it is.
Right. And Toronto's the one that knocked them out. Okay, NBA playoffs. We've been talking about it all spring. And it's finally arrived. And today they started, yesterday they started. And there were some great playoff games.
Yeah.
How about the Sacramento Kings? De'Aaron Fox. They beat the Warriors.
Their first win in 17 years.
Correct. Right. They lit the beam. You ever see that purple beam they got? They got this purple beam.
Right. Yeah.
The Celtics beat the Hawks, not unexpected.
No.
Sorry about the Knicks. The Knicks beat the Cavs.
2-6 had a hard weekend, boy.
They beat the Cavs, man.
That was freaking awful.
76ers beat the Nets. The Lakers beat the Grizzlies today. And the Heat are beating Milwaukee as we speak.
You know why?
With only 5 minutes left. They're up 13.
Giannis back issue.
No kidding. That explains it all.
I'm convinced the NBA wants the Knicks and the Lakers in the playoffs.
Giannis, I didn't know Giannis wasn't playing.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Oh, my God. Well, this is unbelievable. We've had Archie Manning. We've had Peyton Manning. We've had Eli Manning. And Arch Manning is Cooper Manning's son. And he apparently is the big quarterback coming out of high school. He played his first spring game at Texas. Right. He chose Texas over Alabama. Why? I don't know, but he did. But
Sarkisian, right? He's there.
He apparently played. Do you think Arch Manning is going to be all of that in a bag of chips or not?
Not this year. I tuned into that because of that. He didn't even play that I saw. They've got 2 guys ahead of him on the depth chart.
That is correct. Right? And the guy that started last year allegedly is the starter this year, but I don't believe it.
Right. It's called
Arch Manning will be starting. I'm telling you, he will be starting.
No, and as a freshman.
Do you follow hockey?
Playoffs.
Okay. Well, my stepsons played hockey. And so I always liked hockey before. I used to go to hockey games, Stinger and Swords games with my cousin Josh. I've always liked hockey. Hockey's action, man.
I know, I like it.
And I love the movie Youngblood, where Patrick Swayze does the toast and says, "To hockey, the last sport for middle-sized white guys." I mean, but hockey's exciting, and playoff hockey is really exciting. The Bruins record year,
78 points.
Oh my God, man! And the Caps in Pittsburgh do not make the playoffs forever. Pittsburgh fired their general manager
and a couple others personnel
paid their price.
Outs.
But we'll be able to cover in this boring time of sports. We'll be covering the NBA playoffs and NHL hockey playoffs. Trinity Thomas. You see this chick?
I saw her. I mean, she got a 10 on her last competition. I was telling Josh, okay, I went and looked it up. She's had 28 10s in her career.
It's like a record.
Well, no, it's tied. You're
It's
right.
tied for a record.
So if it's so easy
What
to
a
get
great
10,
name, Trinity Thomas.
yeah, why don't they make it an 11 then? I mean, 28 10s. It's the only sport where all the scoring is subjective. That's boxing.
We're gonna up it all. I like that idea. Let's make it 11 now. We want Olympics to go for 11. All right, Sean Kemp, man. I love Sean Kemp because he was supposed to go to UK, and then I don't think he didn't go to UK, did he? And then University of Kentucky, and he went somewhere else, or he
was a man-child.
He was a man-child. Maybe he decided to go pro instead of play at UK. I forgot. It's been so long ago. But I like this guy. He was a man-child. He was a beast.
Played for the Cavs.
Now he faces a felony charge of assault.
Weird story that is, right?
Yeah. Tell our audience what the story is.
Road rage of some sort.
Road rage.
He got in an argument. I guess the guy got lippy with me. He went back to his car and pulled out a gun, as they all do.
I didn't pull a gun out on my nephew.
And
I just followed him. And you know how many guns I had in the truck at the time? 4, plus a knife.
Nice.
I didn't pull out any weapon. That's self-control.
Right. He had to know.
You don't pull out a gun unless you mean business. You don't pull out a gun unless you know it's going to be self-defense.
Did he fire? I didn't get that far in the story.
No, I don't think he did. Now let's talk about something that's really near dear to your heart. FC Cincinnati are in first place. They're having an incredible year.
Yeah, with 4 ties or something. It's communist sport. With you don't use your hands and you tie. If that's not communism, oh my God.
Well, sports is like this week. You got anything else you'd like to add? Your commentary has been wonderful tonight. I just want to let you know. I've enjoyed your commentary.
Great golf tournament. Jordan Spieth got beat on the 3rd playoff.
I saw that Fitzpatrick beating. The Heritage came in second. Spieth lost.
The kid won the
That must be a pretty dang easy course. The winner, like 18 under, 17 under.
Yeah. Well, I guess the greens are room.
If we're gonna make it gonna be 11 instead of 10, why don't we make 19 holes now on the golf course? Let's add a hole to the golf course. Is why we're at it.
Make them 100 yards longer each hole. You do that.
The draft is coming up.
Right.
So we're going to have that in a couple weeks.
Good, that's good.
Anything new of your Cleveland Browns? What do you expect them to do in the draft?
Nothing. You know, I think they got a 4th or 5th round pick. It's in KC this year. I'd like to go. Maybe I'll go.
Maybe we ought to go.
I might go.
I would love to go to that one time. I don't know what. Wait, I can't go. I'm campaigning for governor. I don't have time to go to the guys thing. Forget about it. I'm not going with you. Do you have anything else in sports? Any final thoughts?
No, I'm good.
All right. We'll see you next week. Maybe there'll be something more fun in sports that we can report on. This week sucked.